Welcome back to Factorio Megabase-In-A-Book. My name is Nilaus and we are continuing on our beautiful journey here. And sometimes when you make these kind of things, it is one step forward and then it's one step backwards and then it's two steps forward. It's not two steps forwards and one step backwards. No, it's actually you take a step forward and then you realize that that step forward was actually not entirely in the right direction. So I've had a few comments about the blueprints, these ones that I so meticulously put in at the end of the last episode. So we got all of this running. Funny how it's just not. Well, that's because this cannot keep up with 8 lanes, and that's kind of one of the limitations of this way. Now, there was a person in chat, a lot of people in chat, and I do read the chat messages. One who said, I think you could fit it into a city block. And that was Stricker, and I think that is correct. So they made an example for us, and I think that is super cool. We are going to do our own design, but the inspiration is definitely coming from there. I'm just going to leave this down here because we are in trouble down there. Let's get this one to just fill out the rest of this area. So what we are going to do is we are going to take one of these and I am going to immediately remove it because this and that could be in a collective location. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here. I think I'm gonna design it in just next to it and then hope that this one will run out. Basically, when this runs out, I can easier pick it up, and these hopefully will be picked up. So there's less cleanup in terms of just removing chests. That's always the removing chests is always like the worst part of cleanup duty. So that's why we also need to make sure that since we have done this is okay. Oh yeah, the iron is not converted. Copper here. We've moved all of these trains. And after I'll say, what we really want to do is take away those 20 with those 15 more. So we have in total 24 trains we just removed from the network. Considering we have 77 trains, or we actually had 86 trains minus those 3 that are not really going. So that's, yeah. So it's a pretty significant amount. It's about 20% of the trains we can remove just through this. So here we need a building location for us to work in. We're gonna take this one, and I think that I want to make it ghostly for the majority part. I want to make it ghostly because we're gonna be copy pasting a lot, and I don't want to I don't want to create this one and then move it one tile and then create it again and then move it one tile. There. Going up to that one. Right. Let's remove this. So the idea is, can you fit in... Remove robot. Can you fit in this thing as well as 2 stations for loading? It does seem a bit ambitious. That one. Let's put that here. So already now there's kind of obvious things here. If I'm going to take 2 of these, it's going to be pretty damn close to the edge. Oh. That one. So that is exactly within the limit. That should also be possible up here. Yep. There. So that is an option. Then, and this is where why we need to not work. Oops. That one will not be part of it. Whoops. But this one will? No? Hold on. That's not good. I must have missed something when I copy pasted it. Yep, I missed the outer one. There. Okay. Now I'm going to take this out again. because I'm going to be shuffling this around a bit. Let's move it all the way up here. There will be some compromises, unfortunately, with this. That's the nature of things. If I did this, and then it would have to go out on that side. Let's see. Already see that there are definitely some things that are not exactly like we usually do them. Yeah. And that's actually not good enough. I'm thinking it has to be like this. Yeah. That doesn't look particularly good. I think it actually needs to go... It can definitely go like this, and it'll be better. Right, so this is one option. Now, we can assume a few things, right? We can assume that between the smelting area and going in here, since if I make it into a city block size, then I do have the luxury of saying, well, not the luxury, but the necessity that it will have to go some pathing to get into the right location. And I can say that during that pathing there, I can have that balancer here. The question is then, is it possible for me to also balance on the inside, like here-ish? Like, what would be the absolute minimum amount of additional space I would need here in order to do a balancing? I don't know. But first of all, I think you have to do something like this. Yeah. That will solve the issue of getting in. Yeah. This will just simply be a way to say, if I can get inbound like these 8 here, then they will evenly spread between the 2 stations. It's a bit, I'm not saying it's a hack, but it's a simplification of what we usually do. So if I want to say, I want to make sure that I can balance from here. How did that not work? Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, we need to have this one go out here and clear some more. Add a few more. Green ones can go to that one. If I keep those here, then they're going to be shooting all of their rockets, and then suddenly they won't have anything. Right, so the answer is, this is as close as we can make it. Flip it. Okay, and if then I have to have, oops, room for this one. It can't be here. It'll have to be here. Not sure this is a good idea. And then the question is, can I then fit this in? And remember, we can't do, these can't move. The rails can't move in 2 tiles at a time. So let's see. Oh, okay. This is also incorrect. It was flipped. If you do it that way. Yeah, unfortunately, the answer is it can't really be done unless I loop one of those over, and I could do something like this. But let's be honest, that's not why we're here. That one. Then we can also do it at this location. There, right? That would be, no, how are we doing? This one. I know it's only ghostly. I mean, I like this, but we could also say that, and this is one of the things that I know that you're always chasing me for, is what if you're balancing on the inside, you don't need to balance on the outside. And I know, but I like that. And this can't go any further north without bumping into that one. All right, so this is definitely one option. It does have the advantage of here, but what if I took this loop around and then sort of have that in the middle? Let's do that, and then we can skip this, because there's also another problem. Where are the stackers? There are no stackers here, and we need stackers. So try again. This one, clip. Let's follow this one as far out as it can. From here. Here. And... Right, so if I do this... should be able to do like 2, 3, and 4. Alright, that's definitely one thing that we could do. And then we'll get it in from the top and coming in from the side. I think that it actually has to be different here. Okay, we can take this out as well. Or I like this one. And now I have stackers. Now the question becomes, can I fit this one into the middle? It actually looks very much like I can. The question is then, how do I align it in the best possible manner? Maybe something like this. And then... no. I think I actually want to link it this way. And... yeah. How close can we make it? That's going to be determined by this one. Okay, so the answer is one closer than this. We only need one tile. Because I want to make it as close as possible. That one. Is this possible? It is. Barely, but it is. Just links in there. I know it's not, oops, not symmetrical, but I can't make it symmetrical anyway because each row here is an odd number and all of this is, well, even numbers. But this is good, then it's sort of linked over here. Then all we need now is getting stuff inbound, and that will be on this line. I guess that's just how it has to be, and then we'll get it out in from the outside. I'll take that thing. Oh dear. Huh. Right, hold on. I think that what I'm doing here is kind of not necessary. I'm thinking I might have overcomplicated things. I don't want more than this stacker, but if this stacker isn't really necessary to be all the way up there, then let's get it a bit closer so there's more room on the inside. Alright, let's remove this. That one. And also remove it on this side. Is that better? No, I need to get it even closer. So let's take all of this out. All of this needs to be taken out as far down as possible. There. It's supposed to be a cut. Okay. Why is this double? Oh, we have another issue. This is the furthest down it can be. There. Because it has to come around here and then be able to turn into the inner lane. Okay, so this is as close as we can make it. And then we'll try again. From here, into that one, and into that one. Yes. And then we'll cut it. 2, 3, and 4. And that will now be the inbound. Good. Okay. Do we like this? I mean, it's okay, I guess. I think it's good. We're missing some signals for sure. And we'll get the signals. But I don't think I want to build this until we have the other one. All right, so now it's time for me to remove all the old crap. Oh, please, how much do we have in this? Oh, it's a modest 42,000. Damn it. Okay, well, that's going to be shut down. Because I can't wait for that. Okay, let me remove this and then we can come back and try to build it here. So we've now cleaned out the area here. We have our template up here. And one of the things I thought about is that it's now always coming in from one side and it's always coming in from that side. That means whenever we turn it, I can't make it come in from this side, or I can't make these would come out from else. I can rotate it, but that's about it. So we're going to take this part and try to place it here. Are we good? We're good. Not that one though. And then we'll make it into a more robust, rigid, usual blueprint. Because that will be... This can come in here and go into that location. And I will be finding something appropriate here. What if we do stuff like this? Wow. That was perfect. I wanted to make sure that it did not collide in here. And as you can see, robots are still not charging. It's one of the things whenever I have these kind of things off camera where I'm just sitting here waiting for robots to charge, I'm thinking like, why are we in late game and spend the majority of our time building instead of building, then just looking at robots charging locally. It blows my mind that why can't we not have anything that's better than this? There are luckily mods for it, and that's why I'm almost always late game add the mods to do this kind of thing. In this case, I'm going to use spidertrons, but since I've picked up everything I need from here already, then I'd really like to get these back in here and just use that. But you know, I can take this part here and simply lead it in. Maybe I should just take there. Like, this is not engaging to look at robots charging and just go like, well, I guess I can't do anything for the next minute or so, and then I'll see a small burst of flying out. It's not one of the things I'm super happy about, and it's also something where you can go like, well, yeah, then you just do no, hold on. The roboports, personal roboports have been around forever. And that means it's old tech. It was back then. It hasn't changed since blueprints were added. I can guarantee you, for anyone who's not been around before blueprints, We did not build that big before blueprints were there. That was just not a thing. Not a thing. Because, well, you didn't have blueprints. Oh, back in my day. It is a luxury that I think I have earned to say back in my day when it comes to Factorio. It is, after all, almost 7,000 hours of Factorio being accrued on my account so far, and none of it is, or a very, very small percentage of it is idle time. So let's see what we're getting here. Looks like we have everything going in, and what I can do though is make sure that we have all of the signals done correctly. That one. Let's put in the signals then. I will be getting a signal from each of these locations. Actually, I don't want it out there. I want it sort of there. And from here, there will be some chain signals. That is how it works. So they not allowed to go out of the stacker until they can go into a specific one of these. I'll do a little pickup here. Then we can set the other signals, and we're probably also going to miss some power lines in as well. And now I just picked up a random one, whether that was iron or copper, the one I took here, but we need to make sure that the signals are correct. Now, this one is important that I can rotate it. And if I can rotate it, if I should be rotating it, then sometimes there will be a radar in this corner. And we have to make sure that this is sending out, this is the right scale, yes. And that means I need to get the signal, the demand signal in here. Or not the demand, the supply signal. Like this. So now it goes in and becomes part of that design. And I will then take, you know what, that's probably a good idea to take that here so that everything gets powered up. The few things that were sent through will still go. Let's see, I have a signal here, so that should be okay. And I will do signals on the inside of the stacker. That's how it goes. All right, not a lot of things are missing here. So let's burst that out and get that sorted. Come on, robots. Okay, so let's just explain why this is not working. So the thing is, these are producing 1.5 megawatt of power. And that's going to be poured from here into the batteries, or maybe directly in here. But this charging rate, they will not allow anything to be sent out until they stop blinking. And even then, when they stop blinking, it's not exactly ideal. Well, looks like we're also missing some. What are we missing? Oh, 38 of those. It's almost like someone shut them all down. Oops. Alright, so it looks like we need to get the white one in here. I was hoping that anything we picked up, we could actually put it down again. And this one can also be made. So now this one should work. There are a few things missing. So with the comment that I know that has been made about balancing. Right, if you balance before, you don't have to balance afterwards. Except in this particular case, which is always the reason why. If I don't have any of these, then I do very much need the balancing, both on the inside and the outside. But we're going to wait for the white ones to come in here before we start filling it up. But in the grand scheme of things, I think I like this blueprint. I will do this. So what this means is that I will need to take... Are you coming? Yeah, you're coming. I'll need to take this one. And then I have to replace all the other copper ones that I replaced at the end of last time. As you can imagine, I'm gonna shut down the recording for doing that because it's several hours. And while I'm at it, I might as well do the same for iron part. And once I've done that, and I'll be back tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but it'll be after a little swoosh. Then we'll be back, and then I can do the rest of it and figure out. Because I really want to make sure that we complete the migration to on-site smelting in this episode. We're gonna get this in here, and we can also, yeah, that is probably something I really need to fix here. If I'm looking at it, that is taking pollution, so it's almost certainly going to attack. It's not almost certainly going to attack us. It is already attacking us. Okay. Well, so much for that. Okay, I'm gonna have to send those up here. Just to go out this way and then build this thing further out. And further out. There. Yes, we'll have to do that. Did we get the white spider, the building biters, building spiders, not biters? Oh, look at that, they're fading. I have actually don't think I've just been looking at things while it was fading. It's always like it's there and then it's not there. Good, everything is done? Yep. And there are just a few, that's not a big deal. And I will then set it all into motion, and then we'll see if it works. It should work. This is just a standard, and that's a balancer going in. Cool. And of course I will provide these blueprints. I'll make one for iron, one for copper, but I will not make one for steel because steel is different and therefore needs to be treated in a different manner. And so let's do that. Let's look at this, and then with the swoosh of a hand we will be having all of these converted. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 converted of this copper and iron parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually 5. That's very small iron ones. I think I'll have to take that one as well. So I have 6 of those as well. All right, that is going to be it. I will see you in a bit when all of that is converted. And we are back. Here we are. And now everything has been converted. If you look at this beautiful location here, things are flowing. This is the original, but it's not the only one. Next one is here. Basically, I'll have to, and as I said, mentioned before with the whole inputs and outputs, that I can only get them in from one side and I can only get them out. Like trains have to go in one side, and that means instead of this one would be obvious that I'd sort of mirror it, but I can't mirror it. So they have to sort of loop around sometimes. And also for the iron parts. And if you, here, I will have it on-site smelting iron, on-site smelting copper. Those are now part of the blueprint book that I will, of course, upload. I did not upload the one for yesterday because I didn't really have any changes to it. So, but I will do that, and it will also include these rail segments that have been asked for, as well as the blueprint for setting down miners. So this one snaps, so it will just easily fit by itself. Good. Whew, that works. What we've now done is we have reduced the stations as well. We're down to 60 trains, where 3 of them are junk train, or just temporary trains. So we're down to 57 trains. That is actually a very low number, considering how much we have. That's a really big reduction in trains. I've closed off this area, so we're not going to get attacked from there. So what we can do is we can start on some of the other things that we wanted to do. Like, I think we can actually just get all of this in one go. Might as well. And on the other side, we can simply do that. Oh, by the way, I also said before that I wanted to take this one as well, because this is 19 million. It's pretty close. And I could just squeeze it in here. This one is a bit of a hack because I had to do it, and I had to move my dashboard up here. So we've kind of eaten a bit away from that location. It's pretty, it's okay. I don't think that's a problem. Well, I know it's not a problem, but that's what we had to do. Now, what is working and what is not working? Now, this thing here is completely not working, which is awesome to see. I mean, there's still going to be like a small amount here, and by small amount I mean 50,000. What? 50,000? Ah, man. Please come in and pick it up. 12,000, that's useless. 50,000 is actually useful. And 63, that's almost 2 full train loads. This one as well has something, and they are not going to be useful. However, we have a problem. Steel is not working because steel was actually built in a way that it took iron ore in and then converted it into steel. That's not gonna fly anymore. So if we want to do one more thing, then I think that's converting to steel. Now there are two things about steel. Steel is used up here for the hub or the starter base. So I do need to have one generic. But aside from that, I actually want each of those steel to be part of the column, the science columns. So for example, blue science will need some steel. All right, we're gonna get some a dedicated steel for the blue science later on. But we're still gonna have to do some design work on this, and I will just summon my builder train because that's just a good way of getting there. I'll get you to me. I'll jump in here, and I have removed all of the other trains, the ore trains, which also means that yeah, well, okay, go there. That's a weird place to park, but there's a reason why I want to park there. Jump out. Because this one, I have some dashboard here that is throwing warnings that it shouldn't be. These two are, oh, they're still relevant. Are they? No, they're not. They don't exist anymore. Oof. That was incredibly bad way of doing it. I should have done this one instead. That would have just fixed it immediately. I think that's a legacy thing. This also is completely useless, so I'm gonna copy this and put it up here, and then take that one out and that one out. These are not throwing warnings in terms of here. They are just highlight. There. Uranium, not an interesting one. And we've now, the dashboard is now updated, so that is good. And we can now go to our train. What? Oh. Let's see. Steel. So what are we going to do about the steel? Well, I think that we're going to just make it really simple. Probably a good idea to make it simple. First of all, we have to cut the inputs. Let's cut them here. And I don't know if I need to do this. That one has to be taken out. And this is steel. So, yeah, I do feel like... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 of those. But what if I look at... This is 13, but the other one is 12. So I think what I need to do is simply take this design... Hold on, it's that simple, isn't it? It's as simple as taking this design and simply calling it steel. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think we can do that. I'm gonna try it. Because this is not working anymore. And of course they are marked as iron parts, but that's okay because there's nothing stuck on the lines. There's a bit of things stuck here. That will need to be taken out. It technically doesn't, but you know... Then suddenly weird things happen. Yeah. Maybe in... Does this have dead ends? It might have dead ends. There. Yeah, 16. I did pick up something. Same with this part. I am so cautious about this. I'm so cautious because I think it might actually work. Okay, so it's definitely not coming in with this amount anymore. It's coming in with this very modest amount instead. Yeah. Let's see, where's a good place to drag it through? This is all the way down there. That's by necessity. Yeah. I think after that, this is probably the best place to drag it through. There. And let's take these out. So, restructuring this one is hopefully going to be easier. Yeah. That one as well can be improved to something like this. Alright, so what we do have issues with is all of this again. How much we have. I chose the one with 63. Why did I choose the one with 63? Oh, because then I can... Oh, man. I'm going to use this as a test. That's actually pretty smart to use this as a test. And we're going to call this something unique and interesting so that we can use it for testing. That will now be... If I do this, there won't be any of those. Yeah, that will be a unique train. And this one will be... I'm going to call it something else. There. You are going from the special one to that one. Destination full. Where's the destination full here? Oh, right. There. No? Okay, so the point here is that I simply want to move it from this station over here so we can start having it process. And I'll pick up all the residuals that we have here. And it should be coming back to this one, right? Please, please, please come back to that one. Yeah, it was just taking a little loop around. Good. And then I am not connecting this one just yet. Because as soon as I connect this, we start mixing things up. And that's not a good idea. So here it comes. This is simply to do a test to see if I can convert this one directly from an iron smelting to a steel smelter without any problems. I'll do this one until inactivity there. And let me walk in front of the train because we know we love that. Okay, so it goes in and it should be full lanes in. How much? These will gradually change as they realize that they are not taking iron ore in, but they're taking iron plates in, and we get the steel outbound. We want to get all the way down here to see that everything converts. Not all of it has converted yet, but once everything is converted, then we want to check to see if what the throughput is. There, looking good, because I think that I would actually benefit from improving the throughput. 72, if we look at it in terms of ups, in terms of power, who cares about per hour? It takes 6.7, so I could actually expand it so it actually consumes 8 lanes. I like. Now, where are you going? You're going to that one. But why are you not open? You should be open. There. You're open now. Alright, well... that kind of means that if I look at this, it's the last one here that I am a bit in doubt about. Okay. Right. So if we look at this lane, this is consuming 0.84 transport belt, and I'd like it to consume closer to the maximum. So we're just going to do some sampling here. This will be exclusively for testing how many we actually need. Not this is going to be the actual design. Surprise, surprise, this will not be the actual design. Do I not have any of these available? I guess I don't. Okay, then I'm going to get my buddy over here. Where are they? Oh, they're really close. That's nice. $13, and I'm adding 2 more. Good. And I'm going to see if that's closer to a full belt. It's not closer to a full belt because that's not how things work, apparently. Yeah, they have to have a recipe before they count here. 9/7. That's pretty damn close to a full belt. Do I want to take one more? Especially one that isn't fully saturated. Still have the problem of... What? I misplaced it, didn't I? Yeah. That one. This is now above, and I can... What if I take this out? Yes. Very, very good. And it is an even number. It's an even number, and the last one is speed 7.4, and the other was 9.4. The first one is speed 7.4. So the first one and the last one are the same speed if I do it this way. And I am going to do it this way. So what I need to do is simply say that I'm going to take the end part out here and just do a little redesign of this. Because this is a very repetitive pattern in a good way. 1, 2, 3. Which one am I missing? That one. There. I think we take this out. And I'm gonna have to get some more the iron parts. Okay, now. Let's check again. Yes, slightly more than 1 belt inbound. Sweet. And from... This is going to be the last one. That will be the outbound. This is not really working very well if I'm not bringing in that one, right? Input, 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 input. You don't have an output. That's kind of not really working then. There. And then once this is flowing, it shouldn't be a problem. Good. Look at that. This is actually looking good. I don't know where you're heading, but you are coming back. So this part is now going to be our new design. That means all of this has to go. Sorry. And this design has to be moved slightly up because that's our new template. I want it to look more middle. There. Oh, you, stop, train. Stop. Yeah, that's something for the spidertrons to figure out. And I'm gonna pick up this train. Because this train has no use for us anymore. This was just our test train to move things from the outbound side to the inbound side. It's a bit of a weird way to do it. But 63,000, not something 63,000 iron that we actually could use for test purposes is too much to throw away and too much to pick up. So that was the easy, clean way of moving it, just using a temporary train from one to the other. All right, this one will have the problem that it's actually moved a lot of it to trash lots, I think. Yeah, it moves things to trash lots because what it does. And with this done, we should have a full belt here, and I don't think any of these have any residuals. No, they don't have any residuals anywhere. No residuals, and that means I can do this. And you will now send a signal of the steel, and you're sending a signal of iron, and they are coming in. This one says, give me 2. This one should be set train limit now. And this one will say, when it's at 32,000, it will signal that it has enough. Right. Might as well do that, even though it's probably going to end up making it slightly imbalanced. Okay, and I can now call this something. I can just call it that one. Even though it's not actually an assembler inbound, but I still think it works. Oh, right. It's not working at all. I wonder why it was not working, but there, now it's working. Let's get the buildertrons out. And I forgot this one in the meantime. Ah, okay. Forgot. It didn't quite work. And this side has now caught up and is now ahead of the other one. So once we get all of this, this will now take more time for this one to fill up, for each of these to fill up. Each of the furnaces will take a bit more time to fill up because it is using close to a full belt. So this one will now be using, once every single one has a recipe, yes, now we're going to see if what is the inputs and outputs of this one. Measured in transport belt, it's slightly more than 8 belts. And that means we are also producing about 87. That's very close to 2 full belts of steel. I like that. I think that's really nice. You can also say, sort of from a benchmark perspective, if you're consuming 8 belts and then you add 20% productivity, that's not, it's 1.6 extra, so that's going to be 9.6 belts, and then divided by 10. Divided by 5. So it's 1.8. Why do I do math like this? 1.8 belts outbound, and it fits. Goes it's pretty close to the 90. Yep. Right. This seems like it's working. So that was a really easy conversion from the steel, from the iron part to the steel part. So this is now a, why do you have a wrong icon here? Let's actually make sure that that is also done. There. This one will also be updated to our blueprint. Now I think I'll keep the other one. I'll keep this one, steel smelting, and I will then add that one, because then I know it comes from that, maybe, kind of, but then I'll add another one that, for this one. Do I want to take that output? No, I don't. I want to just take it like this, and we'll build, I'll put it somewhere. This one would be steel, but it'll get it from that one. Snap to grid, 200. Nope. 100 and 100. And then, actually this is interesting. This is something I never really show. Do this. I'm just basically building the blueprint because this is something that always takes a bit of time to do afterwards. There. Let's test it. It works and it can rotate. Yeah, so that is also part of it. I think I'll put it there. Damn. I have one too many. Science. Okay, that's not, that can just go somewhere else. Yeah, we need kind of a system here. Subfolders maybe, like intermediate science. Yeah, maybe I'll do that at some point. But anyway, it is now converted. I'll convert the other ones and then we are good to go. What this means we can do, or we are doing, it means that we are now, we've now converted this steel thing will be able to feed into the main base or the old base. And by removing the copper, the iron, and all but one of the steels, we now have some columns available where we could, and we will start making some science columns. And this is why I've not been starting on the purple and yellow sides yet, because I wanted to make sure that we are done with this conversion before we dive into the next phase of the project, start scaling up. Otherwise, it's just going to be more stuff that we need to move. So I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope you appreciate the time that we do this, and it has been educational. This is definitely some of the steps that are part of any Megabase. You take a step forward, and then you realize that that was not really getting us anywhere, and then you step back, and then here we go again. So that is super awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, consider hitting the like button. If for some reason you're not subscribed to the channel yet, then maybe consider subscribing so you can keep up with Factorio content and all the other content that comes on the channel. There'll be tons more new games coming up in the next couple of weeks and months, so do keep an eye on it and make sure that you are subscribed. Of course, last thing is, if you are enjoying it so much that you want to help out, then there is a Patreon link in the description, and I really appreciate the people who are supporting. I appreciate all of you, but particularly, of course, the people who are supporting on Patreon, and yeah, just keep the whole thing going. So thank you very much. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.